Welcome to Argue Bros, the podcast that gives you multiple perspectives on today's hottest topics. Hosted by Nico Penguin, Fred in Progress, and Jess Freeman. If you're looking for some inspiration from and for normal people, or simply want to know the bros a little more, you better open up your mind to the fresh perspective that's coming your way right now.
And now, welcome to the next episode of Argue Bros, a podcast where you got goofballs, conspiracy theorists, current news individuals, and beeping sounds in the background. Ooh, you like the bars? Y'all not ready for this? Y'all not ready for this?
That's a beat I'm creating. You already know.
Oh, he at work while at work, bro. Oh my god.
Come on now.
Yo, you seen the stage walked out or whatever? You think this is legit? What they trying to do to my man's Dave Chappelle? I don't know if this is a real walkout for real.
No, they ain't doing that shit for Dave Chappelle, the goddamn goat.
Ain't that many trans people who work at Netflix, fam? How many people actually walked out? Bro, when the news got there, they probably hired like about 20 to 50 people to walk out with them. Be like, yo, if we walk out in the crowd, they don't know how many of us work for Netflix.
Oh, you think they would do something like that?
He already found the people that are gonna organize the walk, and they fired the person that organized that shit. Did you know that?
Wait, what?
That the CEO of Netflix found the person or the trans person that was organizing the walkout, and they fired them.
Oh yeah, because they had leaked the Netflix data.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that takes anger to a whole other level.
That's one L, and now they're coming up on another L. About like 3 days ago, the black trans woman, or is it a trans man if they turn into a woman? The black woman who dressed like a goddess angel, wearing like all white in like soft color white colors. What's that word? Cream. Wearing cream. There we go. Wearing cream.
You just say goddess angel?
I'm saying because that's how she tried. That's how they tried to portray themselves.
Okay.
And like the cream and all holier than thou. Turns out they had a bunch of Asian hate tweets and stuff going on.
I am good. I get 20 on 8.
So they were pretty much like racist.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Basically racist. Basically racist, and apparently supposedly apologized for it back in 2019, but there is no apology, and they blamed it on drugs. And now it's resurfacing, and people are just going in on them for the hypocrisy of calling out Dave Chappelle and having Asian hate.
I'm confused.
Asian hate is right now.
I thought he had an Asian wife.
He does.
It's a they. I mean, Dave does. Yes.
That's the funny part, is that Dave isn't even being that much discriminatory. He's just making fun of them, just like he does with every other group. And these two individuals.
It's like Dave said, it's the agenda of it's the conglomerate's agenda, the corporate agenda that's really backing the trans movement and everything like that. It's not really the people. The people don't give a fuck. It's literally the corporations who are trans day, trans sales. Come, please, fight for the trans. Anybody who's against it, cancel them. The other one pushing all these agendas of all. Like, bro, do you see how quickly we changed the passport to where, oh, yo, you don't have to have a gender. You can just be X. I'm like, bro, what? How are we doing that so quick, fam? How are we doing that quick?
How do you
good laws change? We get that.
How do you become a gender X?
I mean, I'm a gender X. That's how
you became one of them.
I'm an X gender. I have no gender.
Since when do you identify as X, sir?
I identify as no gender till 9:26 p.m.
He said, "What?"
I can put it on a timer.
You can do that now. Is that the new feature?
Yeah. Bro, chill. I'm 26 on Tuesdays, 45 on Wednesdays, and 92 on Sundays.
Hey, bro, they can't tell you nothing about it. You trans agent, okay?
Imagine you could do that with your bank with your bank money. I identify as a billionaire today.
Yo, no lie, bro.
This isn't work, but I have seen.
No, we need to be transracial, fam. Like, if we could be transgender, no lie. We need to. So in court, I'm white. In court, you refer me to my white name, Theo.
No, I'm serious.
Come on, my suit. Come on, give me the white verdict. Give me the bail. Give me. I just have to go and do community service after I killed someone. Like, please.
Community service?
You're gonna have the criminal justice all those swamped over you.
Or hopefully to reward me because I'm transracial.
Now, wait a minute. If you kill white people, you ass getting life. It depends on you killing some niggas. Because you definitely getting off on probation, boy. You want house arrest? We give you a cake with it.
That's interesting. That's a tough choice to make, because if you're not of the fairer skin, you got to be very careful when you tread upon those waters. You know, the lawyers actually do have the judge of book, same with judges. They do have the, I'm going to judge you by however you present yourself to me, however you talk. Could you imagine those individuals who try to represent themselves in court and stuff like that? Well, that's kind of wild. People that actually think like
that dude. Oh my, like that dude with the fucking dreadlocks that he was representing himself. Remember?
Or also like landlords now are representing themselves in court too.
That man said, "I am innocent." That man started shaking his head and everything, bro.
Bro, he looked at his son, knowing damn well what he did. He's like, "Son, you know I love you. Why would I try to kill you?" Nigga, like, what the fuck?
You were crazy.
It's a funny place that we're coming up to, and you know, speaking of the justice system, how do y'all feel with now police having to, you know, have to wear body cams and stuff like that all the time? Y'all like that?
I love it.
You think so? It adds accountability.
Wait, did they not already wear body cam? What changed?
No, now they're enforcing it. That's what it is. Now they're enforcing it.
Obligatory. Yeah. And that's where a lot of these new films are coming out, is because they have to wear it on the clock and stuff like that.
Nah, I love it, bro, because if you know my personal story, bro, cops are very, very, very disrespectful, and they abuse their power to the fullest.
I mean, it's psychology. Anytime you give somebody a position of power, they're going to see how far they can go with it.
Literally, and that was an actual fucking experiment. I just forgot the name of it.
It's like the Stanford experiment in the 1997.
There always has to be somebody who needs to check somebody, because everyone's human. There shouldn't be anybody with unlimited power.
The only thing is that judges and stuff don't be paying attention too much to the cops.
No, they're with the cops. The police unions are always hidden in the background, manipulating the money and the connections.
I mean, that's the whole point of the union. You have a very powerful and respected lawyer always at the helm, ready to dispute any legalities that go on.
Yeah, except they're like gangsters and clans, and so nothing can be done to them.
Do you ever think that problem may get resolved at any point in the future?
No, because it's institutionalized. So unless the institution falls, it won't.
You don't think that there's ever going to be some sort of a bill that's going to be done to like...
No, because it's institutionalized. It's literally built into the United States of America. And you're not going to change America, then maybe you'll change the law.
You don't think any laws could change that?
Just like they got qualified immunity further extended in the Supreme Court, so that more and more police officers are being protected.
So they'd have to drop that or something?
They'd have to. That's just a start. There's a lot of things they'd have to do. I don't know. Why are you asking me all the deep questions?
I don't even think these are deep. They're just shallow. The deep questions.
No, I need to ask the people who can actually make a change, the activists. They need to present me with some of the policies that we could fight for, and I'll be right behind them voting.
You talk enough about it, they might be trying to push you to be the one that leads them.
No, because I understand the dangers that entail that, and I'm like, I'd rather not be assassinated. Whether it be my character or my life.
How could they assassinate a character?
Bruh, if you're a target, all they got to do is do research and slander you and plant stuff. Like, if you're a target, it's not that difficult. That's why there's always scandals about everyone. Anybody has a scandal at some point. And if you don't, then you probably run the media. If you too clean, you too clean, you questionable.
You think so?
Oh hell yeah! Ain't nobody that squeaky clean.
You think everybody has some darkness behind them or something?
Everybody has just a little smidgen. And why I say that is because because even if you don't, the media will at least find some way to misconstrue something. If they haven't, then you gotta own the media, because there's no way there isn't something that could have been misdirected and changed up just a little bit to put you in a bad light or to draw attention to you in some way that would get clicks. If they haven't already, there's got to be some reason why they haven't. And that's just what I'm saying.
They could just put somebody like R. Kelly in front of you.
Man, how you feel about him doing time now? Like he was guilty 38 years or something.
Man, free that man.
38 to like 200.
Man, they should have arrested him when he was in fucking Africa or Uganda or whatever, and he was thinking,
forgot his
"Who
rights.
wants to come to America?
If he was
Do you
trans
want to
white,
come to America?"
was Michael Jackson the first trans white?
Oh my lord!
No, he wasn't trans white. He wasn't.
Yes, he was. He got his skin turned white. He was.
He had re-vitiligo.
No, he was trans white, dog. He was trans white.
He had re-vitiligo.
Yeah. He took the white privilege and everything. He went trans white, bro. What are we talking about? He had the whole surgery to turn entire white. He was trans white, dog. He was the first. He was the godfather of trans white, transracial.
That must have cost a lot of money. That's why he had to sing and dance. He hated going on tour.
He knew inside. He knew inside.
He asked the doctor, "How much is this?" They said $400 million to go from black to white. He said, "It's only $400 million. That's only 200 shows. I could do that in 5 years." And it's like, "All right, we'll start the transfusion now. If you don't pay us, you'll die. But if you do, then within 5 years, you'll churn 37 shades." It's like, well, can you throw in the hair too and the voice? Can you change those too? It's like, you know what? Just for you, 400 million. We'll throw in a voice changer and perm your hair. Cause what, yo? He built a whole. I don't even know. He not even built. He transformed. Like, man, I used to love the Transformers, but that's next level.
They did such a good job for the technology back then. Couldn't even tell.
Like, I can only imagine now.
Unless you had pictures.
Like, it's like, wait, hold on. These are the same two men?
I'm telling you, fam, we're only about 10 to 15 years off from transracial. You can claim whatever race you want to be at soon. We already had the racial ambiguous. If we keep going down the lines we're going down now, where it depends on what you think inside and what you feel that's what you are, like, bro, we could be anything at this point. You know, we could be aliens. Aliens have been among us already because they're aliens now.
I mean, technically, if we go that route, then it makes it much easier to understand the metaverse is going to be synonymous with that sort of mindset, because we're going to be able to transform from a physical space to a digital space. And that digital avatar space is going to, imagine like just like Hunter x Hunter, where it just copies the DNA, or like in Jumanji, it allows you to like teleport while you're in the metaverse and stuff like that, and it copies you. But then when it copies you, it asks, do you want to identify as yourself, or do you want to customize yourself? And I think a lot of people are definitely going to customize themselves.
Fam, we're going to be a better version of The Sims until technology advances. Like, fam, we're going to be wearing Vive headsets and walking around and having lag. That's what the metaverse is going to be like for the first 10 years, fam.
Oh my lord, that's not even a lie.
So great dreams. It's gonna be so shit.
I say for the next 5 years, just because.
Okay, yeah, maybe 5.
The way technology advanced, bro, from we started having touchscreen phones in like 2009ish to 2012ish, and then now look where we at. Like, they trying to add like extra features to holographic features to phones now. Like,
yeah, it's pretty wild. And now everything is going to be just on a scaled level, because as the metaverse gets adapted by more and more companies that are going to be afraid to be in fear of missing out, the FOMOs, you know what I'm saying? They're going to start developing a lot of technologies that might not be ideal now, but in like 5 to 10 years, are going to be super ideal. Like all these NFTs, these digital arts and stuff like that. Right now, there's not that many uses of them. But as the metaverse gets better, like, think about it. Your job in the, metaverse call center or whatever, you might be staging calls from virtual people as well, who have like some sort of a digital asset that they either need verification on, and you got to run the verification check in the meta. And you're not just getting paid like, $5, $10, $15, $20 an hour. You're getting paid like 0.001 Bitcoin an hour. You're going to pay cryptos, and that crypto is enough to pay your rent for a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just here's chump changes. Here's change that is.
Bro, I feel like you and Mark Zuckerberg got the same vision that y'all pushing. I'm like, nigga, I love it. But in reality, nigga, you gonna be wearing a Vive headset just like me, sitting in this chair looking around like, oh my god, the metaverse. It's literally just.
How do you like it so far? Don't forget to reach out via social media and suggest the next hot topics to argue about.
It's literally just meet up for people.
Like that movie Gamer, yeah.
I'm skeptic. I'm a skeptic of the metaverse until they show me something that actually works.
I just don't like the concept.
I'm gonna put money into it. Because I think the investment side gonna work out. But I'm gonna have to see how they actually do the technical side of it. Like, how is this gonna work?
It might be like I said, like it's probably like some sort of online. You might have, or like
they do not have the technology for that yet. What is the low?
You know what I think?
What are they gonna do currently?
You guys read Hardcore Leveling?
Yeah, but I mean, headsets where you just walk around with controllers and stuff. It's like that's not great. That's what they're offering for the metaverse for offer.
But do you guys read Hardcore
move around with a controller? I read Hardcore.
Oh yeah.
It could be like that, bro. We're gonna meet at some point in the next 5 years. 5 years, an alien entity where it could trap the conscious mind into a universe.
Like the Matrix?
No, motherfucker, like I said, hardcore leveling, nigga.
Mm.
And some scientific genius is going to harness that power and make it into a game where you can earn money and be a customized character and get coins and powers and adventures and this and that. Run away from your real life when you're sleeping.
We're only 20 years off from if we can read our electrical brainwaves, possibly.
Nigga, we do that now.
No, I'm talking about where we can make a copy of ourselves through reading our electrical brainwave. Right now, we can just do the basics. We can't really predict our thoughts and plan it on and transcript it over to a computer. In the future, maybe 20 years from now, so we'll have the metaverse hopefully built out and way better. We can just metaverse our brain over there and live forever. Maybe 20 years, 30 years out.
Then that's the concept of immortality.
And then you think, big brain here. Where are we in the metaverse? That is all I wanted to say. The metaverse is a question in a company now. So,
I mean, you never know. That could be a reality. Being inside the meta, it's like in the virtual machine. We could be in the virtual machine right now. Like, there's so many places around the world that are trying to create this like alternate dimensional portals and stuff like that. Like, we could be inside of a virtual machine right now. Just trying to create another one. Like, okay, let's see this virtual machine right here. I think that's why there's so many different tests being run at all given points in time. And that's why science is so heavily pushed. Like, don't you think it would just be nice to just be rich instead of just have to be worrying about all this? Like how does this affect me?
No, I'd rather be poor and ignorant because the poor and the ignorant have the happiest lives, apparently. Requires the least amount of joy. I mean, things to happen for you to be happy. Like, bro, you can find a piece of bread and be like, oh my God, it's bread. You know?
Let's not talk about what we prefer because some of us might take it down a dark path.
Here we got dictatorship overlord, man, over here.
Man,
dictator over, nigga.
You know, in North Korea, they're happy for
not living, nigga.
You know, a day off and stuff like that.
This man said, I would not exist. All right, dog.
No cap, nigga. You don't feel pain. You don't make nobody sad. Like, you don't have to stress. Like, what do you mean, nigga? No life. No, that's the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, you know, would you rather struggle every single second of the day? Or just be like, I think in one of the countries in South America, they actually started to stop allowing, I don't know if it was stop allowing or to start allowing patients to allow themselves to approve termination drugs to take themselves out. I think it was like one of the first countries in the world to actually allow that because every other country didn't allow for them to like essentially kill themselves. And it's like, well, I'm going to die in like 8 months, but it's going to be an excruciating 8 months. Just give me the pills and hasta la vista.
Oh, you talking about what terminally ill patients can kill themselves now?
Yeah, I think it was like in Peru. I might be stand corrected. If you guys know the answer, please assist. But yeah, I think it was pretty interesting. The fact that now people are actually giving the green light.
If we wrong, we stand on that shit. What you talking about? who assists these nuts, I'm wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Like think about it, like pancreatic cancer is really same with like ulcers cancer. It's like these are really, really, painful. Like who wants to be going through 6 to 8 months? There's people that there's always hope. Yeah, but they're making a conscious decision. They said, I don't want to jump from a building.
Right. If you don't roll me out my window with that hope shit, man, let me fall where I may. Make sure I fall head first.
It's like, listen, you give me those pills, I can jump off this building. It's like, what you want? You want it to be in the casket, like in all one piece, or you want it to be like, head here, arm over there, fingers over here, just flat.
When you started saying that, I thought you were saying a country that was so poor that as people were choosing death over living, decided to offer medication for them to kill themselves easier. I was like, man, we in the dystopian world? Like, what is this? Now I thought the story was going to.
I'm pretty sure in those places they would wish that opportunity, but you'd have to be rich enough to get something like that. It's like you can't even get a painful death when you're poor. Your deaths are like painful, starving and stuff like that. Infestation, disease, a whole bunch of nasty stuff that first world countries don't really got to deal with.
Man, we have bigger problems to deal with. Like, where's my TV remote? Yeah, man. Hey, but don't worry though. Apple, they got us with the Apple Tile. You just put it on the TV remote. You don't have to look for it no more. Solved your problem.
Oh my Lord! What does it magically teleport to you? Like,
no. You put the Apple Tile on there, and then you just get your phone. Unless you lose your phone, then we're in trouble because then you'll have to use your Apple Watch to find your phone to then find the remote. It'll be a step-by-step process, first world problem, but it'll be solved.
Man, no, man, you're wrong. In this world, in this country, we have to save the homeless crisis. But we keep raising the prices to these homes. Why are we having homeless people?
Drugs. The homeless people actually have money, but the money they get, they spend on drugs because they fund our drug operations. And by ours, I mean the government's drug operations.
You don't think homeless people are needy?
Oh no, they're needy. They are needy, but it'll be more than just lowering housing prices.
He said, "Do you think?"
Do I think they're needy?
Have you ever offered some homeless nigga some change and he's like, "That's all you got?" I'll be like, "Motherfucker, I'm giving you my fucking money. Like, do you want to give me something?"
You ever asked him that?
Nah, bro, because I don't want to get touched by a bum. No cap.
Hey, that bum could be driving Mercedes. Like, you the bum. You the bum. Actually.
That's exactly. I mean, I could be mentally to him.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. A guy asked me for some change, and I was like, "Dude, I don't have money to fill up on gas. You got some change?" And he just looked at me, and we were just both looking at each other. I was like, "I don't carry cash, first of all, but I need money to fill up on gas because I'm on E."
Nah, bro, you could have been like, "Yo, what's your crypto wallet?" And then drive off.
Then drive off. That's sick.
Oh Lord!
They gonna look at you like crypto, nigga. Ain't tripping out here, boy. Big blood, big beats. Big, what you said, nigga?
I ain't got the slightest clue. I'm talking about talking cryptic. That'll be funny. That'll be funny though. They're the homeless person actually has crypto because they're not actually homeless, and they get slipped up and actually start telling me their wallet. Like, hold up, my mans. How you got a wallet but you ain't got a house?
That live in a van.
Yeah,
van life.
How you giving me my hash? How you giving me a hash code when you ain't even got a computer? What's going on here?
What if he's homeless by choice? Like he's one of them hippies that just like live in their car just because they like.
Get free Barnes and Noble Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yeah, they downsize. They don't pay rent and stuff like that. They just sleep in their van or whatever in parking lots here and there across the country.
I mean, when there's so much freedom, you don't need any kind of person out here. What you mean?
Like you could literally buy like a plot of land for like $500 or whatever, hook it up real quick, spend less than like $2,000, get you a nice beat up car, or get you a nice little $70 tent at Walmart off grid. You know what I'm saying? But then you need electricity.
Get you for a few $100. Get you one of those little empty what's those shipping containers? Get you a little shipping container, one shipping container.
For real?
You can't put that anywhere on the street though. You get fined.
No, we're talking about buy a plot of land for like $2,000.
Yo, I didn't even think about that.
You can like 0.5 acres.
That's like a trailer.
Yeah. And, it's cheaper. They be making homes and stuff out of like little, small homes out of
that's genius. Yo, that's really cheap and affordable.
Some preppers, some doomsday preppers and stuff have toll.
Yeah, because that's stainless steel type, I think.
Yeah,
that's pretty much impenetrable.
Very sturdy, and you can build it.
And it's pretty heavy enough to withstand storms and stuff like that. Yo, that's actually a great idea. I gotta add that to my list. Shipping container, and then it's easily transportable.
You can transport your entire home.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure to nail everything down and like super glue that, or else your whole house is gonna be rearranged.
I kind of look at people who live on buses and stuff. They actually build out the entire bus to live on it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I look at them like, damn, I want to do that one day. But I'm like, damn, that is so much work. I want to pay someone to do that one day. That should change so quick. You're like,
yeah, because my sister was showing me that, and then it was like at the end, like 280,000. I was like, wow, 4 beds, 2 bath in like a schoolhouse. Or like there was this one where like a family bought an old elementary school or whatever, or old middle school. And then like over a year and a half, they transformed it into like a 17 room, 5 bath place. I was like, dang, they got a whole mansion now. And it felt more like one of them Japanese residencies or whatever after they transformed it. I was like, wow, that is so cool. They took a simple idea, but that costs bread. I was just talking about on some simple, like living off grid with like a couple, $70 of a little tent, and then the air mattresses aren't that expensive either.
To save like $17,000, get you a bus and build you a house.
But where can you park it?
On the property. What you mean? And plus, in Walmart, there are Walmart's everywhere. Yeah. No, it's your home. You live on the bus. You can park it everywhere. And specifically, Walmart's parking lots. Everyone knows that people live in Walmart parking lots inside the vehicles.
No, that's so true though.
Oh my Lord!
The bus will be a mansion amongst children.
It's like the bus got like 2 big rooms, a PlayStation, a gaming PC,
got a kitchen. They be having everything up in there. They be having generators. Have a whole grill on the outside built into it. And underneath them,
your next door neighbor is a 1999 Honda Civic.
He's got some covers in the window.
You see the covers, and he has a topper. He has a topper for his chair. You know what I'm saying? Like,
honey, does he want to come in for this sirloin steak that we just got from Walmart? Does he want to come in?
It's like, hey neighbor, you want some coffee? And it's like, how do y'all got coffee in there? Yeah, we got a Keurig machine. We got some pancakes in there. We're about to fry up some French toast because we bougie like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to come in? It's like, nah, I'm fine in my 1999 Civic. You know what I'm saying? It's like my radiator works half the time,
Like, bro, funny thing is, like, legitimately, there are people bus homes, like, just chilling, and vehicle homes, everything.
Yeah, if you go astray, that easily could be one of you, and that's the only reason.
Not even the bus homes. There are people living in vans, built the little van homes. Like, you can live in a van, of course, for one person living in a van and everything.
And it's a smart financial move, actually, when you think about it, because you don't got to pay expensive rent.
You can move and live.
Now you can go to where opportunities lie. And if you keep, a P.O. box or some sort of like a easy forwarding address.
Not even just make the address your mom's crib. Every time you come visit your mom, bring your mail, you're good. It could be once a year, 2 times, whatever.
Or something that I actually do now is a virtual mail, which is you actually have a service that will actually scan all your information for you. And they'll put it to like images or whatever. And then if it's like a package that you actually need, you can have it sent to a specific location of where you currently are at. But if it's like a check, you can have the check cashed without you having to have it physically. There's a whole bunch of services. I was like, what? People actually be doing that? Yes, they be doing that. They be living in like Ohio and they be saying, quote unquote, the mail or whatever is in Florida. And it just living completely off the grid, living like that with virtual mail, getting all the mail from one location and buying everything under a different name, pseudonym. Because, once you paying properties in cash, all they care about really is the fact that they get paid. They don't really care too much about who's getting the property, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like loaning money and stuff like that, that's when you got a little bit, more formal and official, because now you got Uncle Sam looking over the paperwork. And Uncle Sam always want to make sure there's a government name being used and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's too much.
It's like, man,
I just want a simple nomadic lifestyle in a van.
Like, so you mean to tell me $700 buys me an acre and a half in Alabama? It's like, okay, and a container is $1,200. How much is furniture? Dang, so I can mod this place up. Like, oof. Like, how much do I get it done? like, imagine somebody comes up with the business idea to just like, not only do you get a container with, a whole, living room. It's kind of like a studio apartment. We got everything together. Even like you can section off like a whole bathroom section at the, far end or whatever. Pretty much a studio apartment, living room, bedroom, bathroom or whatever. You got keys. Of course, you need
until you get a bad driver and they crash that shit.
Well, obviously you want to make sure that your property is nowhere near the road. You want to make sure that it's like towards not the main road, maybe like far away, just like a normal place. But if they crash the place or whatever, the car's going to be in bad shape. That's like a steel container. It's like they're going to be running
selling them tiny homes for like $40,000, $50,000. So like $70. I'm like, bro, reason we're trying to get tiny homes to save money, not get expensive tiny houses. I mean, hey, they got a market for it, so they're selling it. There's a lot of rich people who want to live in tiny houses, apparently, live minimalistic lives.
Man, I just looked up steel containers. It's only $3,400.
Or of them?
Dollars. That's pretty affordable.
There's more than 3,000 of them.
No, we need limited supply.
Possibly, but that's crazy. It's actually really affordable because, like I said, that's like a whole trailer right there. And then if you know how to store things and do furniture right, it might feel like a bigger thing than just a studio. Because depending on spacing and how things are decorated and stuff like that, how you set your stuff up, it might not be too bad of a place to call home. At least for the time.
A lot of people be happy to live there. That's not American. And Americans, actually. You don't have nowhere to go.
Actually, now that you say that, I was actually reading a story a few years ago. I believe it was in China, where there's whole cities that actually live in containers like that, and they mod them up to make them really ideally like a home, because a normal apartment rent is way too expensive. And it was kind of funny because then when I saw Ready Player One come out and I saw the trailer park homes in like Cleveland, Ohio, I burst out laughing because I was like, first of all, trailer trash. And then I was like, second of all, like, wow, instead of the steel containers, they actually use trailers. But some of the homes, like in the ground or whatever, they were actually the steel containers. And it's like, yo, we're really fast approaching Ready Player One with this metaverse one, with this, inflation going through the roof, as well as with this overly saturated renting and buying market, to the point where people are only going to be able to afford to get containers where you are supposed to just use it to store things. But eventually individuals that don't have money are going to use it to store their whole life. Like, you might have 4 or 5 kids in the steel container.
No, we're gonna housing crash. Give it 5 years.
What do you think might be the driver?
I don't have to do that. All I have to do is I sense chaos in the wind.
You think it might be?
And plus with climate change, and if we include climate change, let's say 10 to 15, and the housing market not going to crash at that point. Instead, it's going to skyrocket in price for certain specific areas, because as we understand more how climate change is going to affect the weather, people who are smart are going to be realizing what places are better to live in, just for the future planning and prepping. And of course, I'm not talking about the people who are already smart, but I'm talking Texas is going to get mad heat waves and drought. And plus their electrical lines, how they're being paid with whatever company they do, not tied to the rest of America, is terrible. And so when they run into storms or droughts and stuff, when they need electricity is going to go out. So no, I wouldn't live in Texas.
You think those places in the South are going to have that heat wave increasing over time?
South down the line, like Louisiana, so toward like the South Alabama stuff. They're going to probably have more of the hurricanes. They're going to get worse and worse slowly. With Florida, the Gulf Coast area, we're going to have like more tornadoes. I just think in general, Earth are going to get worse and worse. We're seeing signs of it, but we're not understanding and accepting it fully. So
what if we're just cells inside a big ass body?
Well, we're cells with thoughts.
That TV show, Ozzy.
Oh, I love that show. They do it. They could not give a cell more swag. They could not give a cell more swag. That show, dude.
Yeah, I always thought about that. Like, if we're all cells or whatever, it's just like that show that we're all individual, but we're all working together. We just don't know it. It's like we're all in the same body, not knowing.
That's how we know we're not so. We must all be of different different makeups because we all trying to kill each other. Yeah, I had to look it up. It's called Ozzy and Drix. Oh, that was a good show. The vitamin cell.
Man, that show was amazing, man. Taught me a lot about sicknesses and stuff.
Yeah, cartoons back in the day were better.
They actually gave you a moral story.
They had substance to them. Nowadays, they don't. We're getting some good ones nowadays. We're getting some good ones, but Matt in the middle it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's why I try to make sure that in my stuff that I'm including some education on there, so that way people don't just have fun, but they have fun and learn a few things. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Oda does too with One Piece. He makes sure that it's not just a story that he traverses, but it's also important lessons like how valuable friendship is and how valuable someone's time on Earth might be. You got to value every second because you never know, it might be the last. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you know a black man played Ozzy. Phil Lamar played Osmosis Jones. I'm like, hey, he had swag in that voice. Yeah. The swag in that voice, man. You knew it had to be a black man. The way that character styled.
Yo, white blood cell and cold pill cruise around inside the body of a teenager. Wow, that's actually a pretty very.
Yeah, I wonder if Drix would be supportive of the mandates for vaccines and like the nurses. Drix be like coming out like, yo, if that show is out, then if that show is out, I'll be like, yo, take your vaccines, guys.
No, actually, but no, I'm pretty sure it did, because didn't the bird flu first come out in like 2004 or something like that?
There may be a vaccine episode of Ozzy and Drix. Who knows? Honestly, it's been 3 seasons, possibly.
Yeah, because I was thinking like the bird flu was pretty big, because I remember vaguely as a kid, like everybody was like, the world's gonna end with this bird flu, the bird flu. I was like, birds are flying across the country spreading this flu that is unseen. And it's like, oh no, don't be around birds. Don't eat birds. Don't eat chicken. Don't eat turkey. And it's like, now with COVID, it's like, oh no, stop breathing. And it's like, what? Stop breathing. Yo, chill out.
Oh my God.
Cover your nose and mouth.
The virus makes you stop breathing, and we also need you to stop breathing.
I was like, oh snap! It's like a double whammy. It's a catch 22. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying? But
question for y'all. Actually, we're talking about medical stuff. What's y'all opinion on the mandates for medical field workers and such, and like the police? Do you think they should be forced to take the vaccine and mandate them, or not? Because a lot of states are fighting their a lot of states are mandating it, and the nurses and stuff are fighting back, like through the Supreme Court. Supreme Court just blocked Maine did not block Maine's mandate for their nurses. So their nurses do have to get the vaccine and stuff, because like a lot of people are getting fired right now and losing their jobs and stuff because they're not willing to get the vaccine. What's your opinion on that? You for the mandate or against it?
I'm against it, because you shouldn't force anybody to put anything in their body. We know history, and history has told us that ain't nothing good comes about this.
I mean, that history point is a double-edged pole, if you will, because if you look on the other side of history, we've had nothing but vaccines that stopped disease that would have killed the entire human race, like the bubonic plague, polio. So, I mean, history twofold.
Well, you got to think about who adjusts these viruses and makes them stronger.
See, the only thing that changes is there's so much more conspiracy and information overload.
It's not conspiracy. People say
yes, everything is a conspiracy. It doesn't have to. Conspiracy doesn't mean it's not real. It just means that it's not proven. So it's a conspiracy because it can't be proven. So I'm saying that nowadays, with so much information and the overload of everyone can find out everything theoretically and find out enough information to back up their point, that now everyone is not willing to follow the supposed lead of what could save them from said vaccine. So there's a lot more different viewpoints and back information that can back up those viewpoints. And that's why we have so many different conspiracy theories and so many people that are fighting back against so many different things. And that's why I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about the mandate, because it's such a very complicated thing, but it depends on the people.
It's tough because, in one side of the aisle, you have professionals who are looking at the medicine and they're choosing to not put it in their body for a reason. And then you got somebody on the other side of the same argument who's also a medical professional, who is also looking at said science and information, and who is saying their best choices of survival or chances of survival is to take it. And these are two equally smart medical professionals, and they have differing views. So can you imagine if these professionals have differing views, differing opinions? What about the common Joe? What about
I want to say they're all equal. That's a blanket statement. Intellect is not equal. And if we compare a lot of the people who are for the vaccine, they're intelligent generally, but they have a lot of questionable connections and motives if you look into it. But the people who are against it, they're also cultish and aren't very
radical.
They aren't very critical thinking of both sides. Neither one of them accepts their negative points, and so that's why you can't have an actual conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
An argument. They each one sidesteps their negatives. There's negatives on both sides of vaccine or no vaccine.
People arguing against each other, like two doctors, medical professionals, both outweighing science versus science. Like that's cream of the crop. And they're just going at it type of thing. It's like, how do you this vaccine is only 0.001% actually protecting the people. And then you got this guy saying this and this guy saying that. And I just think at the end of the day,
money, politics, there's so many reasons, motives as to why they would say what they say. So that's why I just and then plus you try to do your own research and be objective. There's just so much research information out there. And then there's so much tainted by people's biases that you have to read through. And that's why it's very difficult in this day and age to get valid information and understand that that's what it is. That's why a lot of people are lazy or they just don't know how to. So they just follow into a sales funnel of information basically. Because basically information is being sold to them through very strategic funnels of Instagram, Facebook, different social media, because all their goal is to keep you online long term. It's not about what you're looking at, just that you're looking. And so they just keep showing you the same things over and over again because that's what keeps you there. And that's how we get these funnels of information where they're trapped in this dragnet and they can't get out because they go back to where they've been and it just shows them the same thing.
And you're obligated to keep searching for that source of information, the one that gives you the valid point, like, okay, this person is right, I'm going to go against the vaccine, or this person is wrong, I'm going to get the vaccine. And it's just like, bruh, you got compelling arguments, compelling evidence, compelling everything on both sides of the story. But, if we were to ramble on, this would be an ongoing and forever debate. Do you guys have anything that you guys want to promote as we conclude?
Let me think on that. Nah, I don't. Not right now.
Stories coming out this Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Something to read.
That's dope. That's dope. NicoPenguin.com. You can check us out there. You can check us out on Spotify. You can check us out on Apple, or pretty much wherever you have found this. Subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you liked, didn't like, and if you have any upcoming projects, leave us a comment. Other than that, Argue Bros, we are out.
You've been listening to Argue Bros. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and leave us a review to let us know what you think. Keep listening and we'll catch up with you next week.